Good morning to all. Today we will discuss the Compton effect in terms of theory and experimental verification. What is Compton effect? When a photon of energy h nu collides with an electron often scattered at rest, the photon gives energy to the electron. Therefore, the scattered photon will have lesser energy and the electron will become a recoil electron with velocity s, and this effect is called as Compton effect, and the shift in wavelength is called Compton shift. Thus, as a result, a Compton scattering can have unmodified radiations, modified radiations, and a recoil electron. For this, we are going to have the derivation part, that is, in Compton scattering, the collision between a photon and an electron is considered. Then, by applying the laws of conservation of energy and momentum, the expression for Compton wavelength is derived. For that, we are going to have some assumptions, that is, the collision occurs between the photon and an electron in the scattering material. The electron is free and is at rest before collision with the incident photon. With these assumptions, let us consider a photon energy by colliding with an electron at rest. During this collision process, a part of kinetic energy is given to the electron, and so the electron becomes a recoil electron which is moving with an angle of psi. The scattered photon moves with the energy h and an angle of theta with respect to the original direction. For that, we are going to have the total energy and total momentum. First, we will derive total energy, that is before collision is energy of incident photon is h nu and energy of electron is m naught squared, m naught c squared, where m naught is rest mass of the electron. So total energy is h nu plus m naught c squared. Next, we are going to have energy before collision, that is energy before collision of scattered. After collision is energy of the scattered photon is h nu dash, energy of the recoil electron is mc squared. Adding these two will get total energy after collision h nu dash plus mc squared. Here we know, according to law of conservation of energy, total energy before collision is equal to total energy after collision. So h nu plus m naught c squared is equal to h nu dash plus mc squared. Next, we'll have the momentum along x-axis. Momentum along x-axis, in case momentum of the incident photon is h nu by c and momentum of electron is 0, which is at rest. So total momentum is h nu by c. Here total momentum after collision is taken, that is for scattered photon is h nu dash by c into cos theta, and for recoil electron is mv cos phi. Adding this, we get h nu dash by c cos theta plus m into v into cos phi. So the total momentum, according to law of conservation of momentum, we have total momentum before collision is equal to total momentum after collision. That is equation number 4 and 5 we can equate. So we get h nu by c is equal to h nu dash by c into cos theta plus m into v cos phi. Then we are having momentum along y-axis. Momentum along y-axis, that is before collision, is totally 0 for incident photon as well as electron, because that is not in a vibration mode. Next, we are going to have the momentum after collision in y direction, that is for a scattered photon we have h nu dash by c sin theta, and for recoil electron is minus m into v sin phi. So adding this will get total momentum along y axis, h nu dash by c sin theta minus m into v into sin phi. According to law of conservation, we can equate the equation 7 and 8. We get 0 is equal to h nu dash by c sin theta is equal to minus m into v into sin phi. So we get the above equation is from equation number 6, that is total momentum along x-axis is h nu by c minus h nu dash by c cos theta is equal to m into v into cos phi. So m into c into v sin cos phi is equal to h into 1 nu minus nu dash cos theta. Likewise, we are going to have the equation number 6 as simplified form. M into cv sin phi is equal to h nu dash sin theta. We are going to calculate the total momentum along x and y direction. So we get the momentum by squaring and adding both the sides of equation number 10 and 11. So we get m squared c squared v squared is equal to h squared plus mu squared minus 2 nu dash cos squared theta plus nu dash squared. From three equation, that is total energy, we get mc squared is equal to m naught c squared plus h nu minus du dash. Squaring the above equation, that is total energy equation, we get m squared c to the power 4 is equal to m naught squared c4 plus 2h m naught c squared nu minus nu dash plus h squared plus nu squared minus 2 nu dash minus nu dash squared. So subtracting the equation number 12 from equation number 13, that is energy minus momentum, we get m squared c squared into nu squared minus v squared is equal to m naught squared c squared minus plus 2h m naught c squared nu minus nu dash minus 2h squared nu minus nu dash 1 minus cos theta. From the theory of relativity, that is relativity formula, we get m is equal to m naught divided by square root of 1 minus b squared by c squared. Squaring the above equation and we get m squared is equal to m naught squared divided by 1 minus v squared by c squared. Simplify this equation and we get m squared minus v squared is equal to m naught squared c to the power 4. So comparing this both the equations, we get m squared c squared minus v squared is equal to m naught squared c to the power 4 plus 2h m naught c squared nu minus nu dash minus 2h squared nu minus nu dash 1 minus cos theta. So totally simplify it and we will get 1 divided by nu dash minus 1 by nu is equal to h by m naught c squared 1 minus cos theta. Multiplying both the sides by c and we will get c by nu dash minus c by nu is equal to hc by m naught c squared 1 minus cos theta. Here that c by nu is lambda and c by nu dash is taken as lambda dash. So we can write lambda dash minus lambda is equal to h by m naught c 1 minus cos theta, or this is called the expression for change in wavelength, that is del lambda is equal to h by m naught c 1 minus cos theta. This above equation, that is equation number 18, represents the shift in wavelength, that is Compton shift, which is independent of the incident radiation. Now we'll have some special cases when theta is equal to 0, del lambda is 0. So the angle theta is equal to 0. The scattering is absent and outcoming radiation has the same wavelength or frequency as that of the incident radiation. Next we are having theta is equal to 90 degree. For 90 degree cos theta is equal to 0. So delta lambda is equal to h by m naught c. Simplify it, will get delta lambda is equal to 0.02424 Armstrong. This wavelength is called Compton wavelength, which has good agreement with the experiment results, and theta is equal to 180 degree, cos theta is equal to 0. So delta lambda is equal to 2h by m naught c. Substituting value of the h m naught c, we get delta lambda is equal to 0.0484 Armstrong. From this we can see at theta is equal to 0, we have single peak, and for theta is equal to 180 degree, we are having double peak, that is 2 peaks for, as one is for incident, other one is for scattered. In this we have seen the complete theory of Compton effect. Thank you.